Want to build a calendar app in SwiftUI with SwiftData using MVVM? This is the perfect place to start. This is the application we will create. We can create a new task by clicking on any date within the calendar. Each of the tasks will be stored within SwiftData. So the task I will add for this example is mow the lawn. Priority, medium. The task is now added to SwiftData. As you can see, because I added the task to SwiftData, it displays the count on the calendar date that one task has been added. If I add another task, it will increment to 2. For this task, I'll just name it wash the car. Priority low. Click on add. As you can see, it has now been incremented to 2. We can also search for tasks within SwiftData. If I type in CAR, as you can see, car is selected at the top of the list, and we can display all tasks within SwiftData. We can also delete a task. And when I delete the task, the count on the calendar date will be reflected. As you can see, it was 2 originally, and now it's been reduced to 1. So this is the actual application that we'll be creating in this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe for more Swift and SwiftUI tutorials. In this tutorial, we will create our calendar view. The first thing we need to do to create a new SwiftUI file name the file calendar view. And then the next thing we need to do is to add an environment variable. At environment dot model context private var context. And the purpose of adding that environment variable is to access the SwiftData context from the environment. We also need to import SwiftData. We need to create an at_state variable to work and to access the functions within our view model, which is called calendar view model. The next thing we need to do is to delete the text element on line 18. Add our VStack spacing 20. If let view model is equal to view model, so if there's something in the view model, then we will show the UI, hstack, button, view model, change month by -1 so that we can navigate to the previous months. Label, image, system, name. The name of this image, the system image, is chevron.left.circle.fill. Font, title, foreground color, blue. Make the language translator functional. The first thing we need to do is register for an API key. In this lesson, we will create the downloading translation view. So within the application, when the user enters the text that they want to be translated, for example, if I enter hello, and I want that to be translated from English to Spanish, when I click on translate, you'll see a view above here, which will display the word downloading. Learn to build a language translator apps with SwiftUI Master UI Design, API integration, and hands-on projects. Enroll now and start building. The next thing we need to do is to add a text element. Now we need to add a spacer first. And then add a text element. View model, get month string. View model, selected date. Font, title 2. Bold. Then we need to add another spacer. And then we need to create another button. The purpose of this button is to enable the user to increment the month by 1 to show the next month. For example, if the user was on April and then press that button, the next month will be May. Chevron.right circle.fill for the system image. Font, title, foreground color blue. Get some padding, put horizontal, and then we create our other button that enables the user to display all tasks or tasks for a selected date. Add a bit of animation. New model dot toggle show all tasks. And then we need a caption for our button, which is a text element. New model dot show all tasks. So if it's true, show all tasks, then the caption will be show tasks for selected date. Else, if the user already clicked on show tasks for selected date, then the caption would be show all tasks. And then we just style the text element, subheadline, foreground color, which is blue. The next thing we need to create is the weekday header that's at the top of the calendar that will display the days between Saturday and Sunday. That displays the 7 days. To do that, we create or use a H-stack, and then we loop through our get weekdays array using the for each. New model dot get weekdays. We give each weekday an ID. Day in. Text day. That will display the actual day. For example, Saturday or Tuesday. Headline. Frame. Max width. Infinity. Dot foreground color. Gray. There's an error somewhere. Numeric parameter content cannot be preferred. New model, get weekdays. It seems like Xcode was playing up. I think that error message is gone now. Yeah, Xcode was playing up. The next thing we need to do is to get all of the generated days for that current month, days in month. We do that using our view model dot get days in month for view model for the selected date. Next thing we need to do is to create a 7-column layout for our calendar, which is similar to a grid layout. Let columns equals array, repeating grid item dot flexible count 7. And then we need to use a LazyVGrid. Our LazyVGrid will include the following columns from our array. And then we have to add the empty cells at the beginning to align the days. So we just loop through our view model, get the starting day of the week, pass in our view model of the selected date, and then we assign an ID, on line 77, after the 2 dots, we need a less than sign. The next thing we need to do is to use color.clear.frame width of 40, height 40. And then we need to display each day as a tappable button using our for each. Days in month, ID, cell, day in. We add our button. Within the click event of our button, we add our model.selected day function. Passing the day. That should be selected date, not selected dat. So let's just go to that function within our view model and refactor it. On here, in line 45, Next thing we need to do is to I missed out something. Lines after line 78, you should close the for each loop for this one here. Yeah, this is correct. For each, we loop through the days. Add our button. We need a label for our button. That will be within a V stack. Let day number equal calendar dot current dot component day from date. That should be dot day on line 92. And then we display the day number for our calendar. We add a frame, width of 40, height of 40. Background, view model dot get days background, passing the day, and then the view model selected date. And then we just use click shape. Make it a circular shape. And the purpose of this is to show the actual count for each task. For example, just say if we had 2 tasks on the same day, it will show 2 within a little circle. But this is where we need to use an overlay. Text, view model dot task count for day. Dot foreground color white. Dot font caption 2. Dot padding 5. Dot background circle dot fill. And then we fill it with the color red. alignment dot top trailing also we need a comma after line 102. Add a bit of padding. And then the next thing we need to do is to set our foreground color. We've got primary. Add our contents menu. The purpose of this context menu is to enable the user to quickly add a task for a day. Button, new model, dot task date equals day. New model dot show modal equals true. Then we need to add the label for the button. Label, add task, system image, we're using plus, dot circle, dot fill. On line 113, that should be view model. And then we just add some padding. In our next tutorial, we will add the search bar task list that will enable the user to filter the tasks within SwiftData and to display those tasks within the list. Don't forget to subscribe for more Swift and SwiftUI tutorials.